Good morning and welcome to Contracting California. I'm certified now what? My name is James Forrest. I'm the program coordinator for Norcal Ptac and the host of this webinar. And we are very excited to have Michael Aguilio doing the main presentation from the California DGS OSDS. So I will be handing things over to him quite quickly, but I want to talk a little bit about Norcal Ptac, the hosts for this webinar, the sort of services that we can offer and help out small businesses like you, because that is what we are here for. We are a nonprofit organization, part of a network of organizations across the country, about 94 of us. And our service area are these counties here in green, these 15 counties you see. Northern California, mostly along the coast, and then some of the rural north, Siskiyou, Trinity, and Shasta. We are based in Arcata, California, where you see there's a red star there on the coast, at the Humboldt State University Sponsored Programs Foundation. Most of our funding comes from the Defense Logistics Agency, that's the federal government. And we also get state sources from the Governor's Office of Economic Development, as well as other local grant sources as well. All of this means that we can provide our services to you guys, small business owners, at no cost. Doesn't cost anything to be our client, doesn't cost anything to join our trainings. And we're pretty happy about that. We offer a number of services, and through these services, last year in 2020, our clients won more than $314 million in government contracts, and that figure was doubled since 2019. And I have a very, very strong suspicion that we're going to blow that number out of the water this year as well. So we're very happy that you guys came to join us. If you want to apply for our services, here's the things you're going to get. You sign up through our website, norcalptac.org, click on that Apply Now button. You're going to get one-on-one counseling if you're accepted. So we'll connect you with a procurement specialist who has years of experience, and they will be your personal coach. You can meet with them on the phone, exchange emails, sometimes even text messages, go over video conferences. Someday in the not too distant future, we'll have some in-person office hours in the Bay Area. And they can basically go over any topic in government contracting you could think of: marketplace research, getting your certifications, you name it, they can do it. And so they're a huge help. They can also help you set up a custom bid matching profile. This is a service that we pay for and then offer to you guys for free. It is pretty neat. Basically what it does, you set up some criteria, what you sell, what sort of services or goods you sell. And then every morning you wake up and in your inbox, you have a list of the bid opportunities that match these criteria. It's pretty neat. You're able to stay on top of all those opportunities. You get ahead of some of the competition, respond to those RFPs, et cetera, right away. The other thing we do is resources and trainings, and this is not specific to our client base. So we allow folks from anywhere to join today. So someone said that they were coming in from Los Angeles. That's not in our service area, but we are very happy to have you here. Sometimes we get folks from Bangladesh, all over the place. We are happy to share our knowledge in these webinars. So you are all welcome to join. And of course, they never cost a thing. I'll be going over some of the events we have coming up in the future at the end of the webinar. But just a note, this is the second day of a two-part webinar series with California Contracting. And we do these on a quarterly basis. So tell your friends to join next quarter. And yeah, so that's the long and the short of it. We don't cost anything, and it's easy to join. If you have any questions, my phone number and my email are at the bottom there. My name is James Forrest. Again, I'm the program coordinator. And let's go ahead and segue over to hand things over to Michael Aguilio, who gave the presentation yesterday. And Jermaine Carter Gibson was out today, so he couldn't do the presentation. So whole bunch of respect for Michael for stepping up and taking over this presentation on short notice. Thank you so much, Michael, and take it away. Oh, I should also notice, we also have Nina Martinez here, who has been nice enough to just drop in, and will offer some support if needed. So thanks, Nina Martinez from the CDCR. You are still muted, Michael.
Yeah. All right, James is waiting on to control the screen. Welcome, everybody. My name is Michael Aguilio. I work for the Department of General Services, the state of California, as a business outreach liaison in the Office of Small Business and Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Services. In my role, I'm here to help you understand how to do business with state government, and then wherever possible, provide you with contacts and information that hopefully will lead to contracts. I'm really thankful that Nina has decided to join us today. She works for the Department of Corrections, CDCR. I think there was another state employee that was on today as well, um, Teresa. So together, we'll try to answer all your questions regarding I'm certified now. What? Where do you take your certification? Hopefully, you've found success. If you haven't found success, today is a opportunity to ask for clarity and or direction on how to improve your chances of at least seeing and or finding and finally winning state contracts. All right, so let me move some of these screens around on accept. So let's see. Can I move the screen? James is controlling your screen. James, you wanna?
No, you just gotta click on the screen and then you can take control.
Ah, thank you very much. Click on the screen. I take control. Ah, there we go. Hey. All right, here we go. So we're going to talk about I'm certified. Now what? Where do I go after getting certified? For those of people who were here yesterday on this call presentation, we talked about the different types of certification. We talked about the benefits, which was really important that you understand what you get and how to leverage those benefits. And then indirectly your profile, which we'll cover today, and some of the nuances, the advocates, how to use them, how to approach them, so on and so forth. All right. Best way to reach me is, of course, via email, on the computer a lot or on the phone, trying to help customers like yourself find the information that you need. All right. So the topics that we're going to talk about today are the California State Contract Register, where our solicitations are and how to sort through them. What's really important, and we spoke about this yesterday, is updating and improving your profile. Your profile is one of the key success points that allows us and our reciprocity partners to find you. It also is a part of a computerized system. So if your profile using a UNSPSC codes match what we have as we're buyers, the system will automatically send you email. So it's really important that you understand your profile is one of your key to success. We're talking about the state contract and procurement registration system. As state employees, we call it skippers, short for state contract and procurement registration system. It's where we house all our past purchases. It's incumbent upon you to understand where it is and how to use it, because it'll allow you to look at what we paid for it last and subsequently give you the information on where your bid should be. There's one thing that we find out is that many people fail to do that. I understand the failure rate is about 90%. People don't look at historical information prior to placing bids, which then cause your bid to be either way too high or way too low. Anyway, we'll talk about that as we get there. Yesterday we talked about where the advocates were, how to find them. We will revisit that. Our reciprocity partners will take you to the reciprocity list. Let me go back to show you who are our partners, where to find that list. And then we'll go over resources. And in here, we are going to get more into commercial useful function. We touched base with that yesterday. It looks like we're going to rehash that information again. All right, so how to search for competitive solicitations. Once you get certified, actually you don't need to get certified as a small business and or DVBE or a small business doing public works. You can always search our database for opportunities. However, getting certified does give you those benefits that we talked about yesterday. For those of you who haven't been there or wasn't there, of course, you got the small business preference, the DVBE incentive, the Prompt Payment Act. You put in our preferred vendor database, and there is a few other ones. We have state agencies that have buy first policies. They'll buy first from small businesses, and they all find you into our small business DVB. And we had a question yesterday: how many people are in the database based in relationship to available suppliers? Truthfully, there's over 1 million people in this small business within the state of California. Our database is pretty small. We have about 20,000, give or take. So as you can see that the ratio from who can be in there and who is in there, you guys are, and again, I say it as preferred vendors because there's not very many of you in there right now. And then if you're a DVBE, there's less than 2,000, 1,500 give or take. So it's a small company that you're keeping. All right. So how to find solicitations. Everything that we do or everything that we information wise for you as suppliers or potential business suppliers who may not be certified at this point, you will begin here at www.caleprecure.ca.gov. Okay. This is our welcome to California online marketplace. All of our functions, information, bids, not all bids, and I'll explain that in a minute. But our advocates list, our tutoring videos, all of that is here. So what you'll end up doing in this case, you'll go down to quick links. Pretty quick. You hit the button quick links, it'll drop down menu. The drop down menu says view or search bids, very top one. See? The next one is view or search contracts, and the bottom one is finding small business DVB. So if you're wondering if you're certified yet, you can just go to the quick links, go to the very bottom and search via your business name, or you can look it up if you have a certification by the number, and hopefully you'll come up in the search. You will actually have your own page. It won't say welcome to online California marketplace. It'll actually have your name and all information available to you. So we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so you view the state contract register. Everything that we are advertising on the state contract register, once you hit that, click that button, will automatically start to download. As you can see, it's no necessarily in any kind of order per se. So you have the search function. Your screen is bigger than mine. I have a little screen here showing, but you can put the event name, the department. So there's various ways that you can search this database pertaining to you. Either you want to look at all the Department of Transportation, otherwise known as Caltrans, or corrections or DGS, you can sort it accordingly. In this function, you just put whatever you're searching for, and then you press little blue search. In this case, if you're looking ahead here, the results right now shows 216. There's a lot more that's available to you. There's pages and pages of it. So advanced search criteria increases the amount of areas that you can narrow down your search. For instance, you can put start date, end date, category, UNSPSC code, California license if you're a contractor, or if you just want to search a specific area, like there's 58 counties in the state of California. If you want to just see what's happening in Humboldt, you put the service area Humboldt, and then only solicitations that are in that area will come up. So it allows you various ways of minimizing the data that you have to look at by filling in the certain areas that pertain to you or what you're looking for. It's a huge benefit. Item description, UNSPSC codes, the service area, contractor license, all of that. You can put multiple fields in if you want to even make it smaller. And all you do is click search. What will end up is that you'll start getting a list of items that you want to see. Okay, here's event detail on just one that we had searched up before, but this is what it will look like as it would reach up in your search function. You'll have all the information as it shows here. So, and it may have more. So if there's more to see, there'll be a list of them that you can continue to look at. But as you open this up, you'll see what is available to you. One of the biggest things that we recommend, if you're interested in this particular solicitation moving forward, you always want to make sure that you jot down somewhere the contact information, or that we call them contract administrator. Okay. And have that handy in case you want to you want to ask questions, you want to send them email, because you have the ability to change contracts that are advertised based on questions you may have. So one of the keys to success is always to ask questions when in doubt. Now, in here, prior to all of this, you want to accept in your bidding opportunities, you want to accept invitations, be notified by the contract manager that you're interested in this. So it's at the very top corner, accept invitation. So moving forward, if you find something that you want to keep seeing what happens or what's going on, or if you're interested in bidding, maybe not right now, you want to accept the invitation. Let's say you sent the bid out. Then what happens by accepting the invitation, if there's any changes in this solicitation, you're automatically notified there has been an addendum or something has changed in whatever format. You have to accept. If you do not accept, you are basically opting out, and we won't send you any more information accordingly. So accept at the top right hand corner. Now, the view event package, you provide your specific details of the event. Important to review. Uh, you have to know what's going on. You can download it, but you have to answer all the questions pertaining to the event package itself. The other thing is at the bottom left hand corner, you see it says post ads, view ads, or start a bid. But what's important here is that you can put free advertising on the state's website by posting an ad strictly for this solicitation. There's no place in the site where you can post an ad that would go on all of them. They're specific. So you got to look through things and add ads to solicitations that you think that you can provide added value. On there, as you can see, we have sub-seeking primes. Many of the solicitations require small business participation. So you would hit the ad that says post ad, and it's going to be your small business seeking a prime. When you put that ad in, what you want to do is make sure if you're a certified small business that you add your number. So you'll put your number. The next slides will kind of show you, and then a brief description on why you are so valuable as to why the prime will want to pick you. Then, of course, we have subs. We have primes who are required to use small businesses on these solicitations or as a point of bidding. For instance, we have high speed rail. High speed rail required 30% small business participation. So they were constantly looking for small business to participate in the building of the high speed rail in various forms. And one of the solicitations came out when they first started. We had hired food trucks to go out of the city to feed the workers that were working, where there was no food. It made more sense to bring food to them and then drive the 45 minutes one way to get food and 45 minutes back. It really didn't make any sense. All right, so you got to realize that as a sub or on these very big event packages, you got to look and think closer to what you may be buying. Let's, for instance, we have a building going downtown, $55 million. Yes, it was won by a prime, but in the building, there's a whole bunch of subcontracting opportunities, plumbing, I don't know, bathroom fixtures, everything, flooring, so curtains or blinds, depending on what the specs call for. All right, so accept invitation, as I mentioned before. You view event packages there. Everything is usually highlighted in dark blue, except for the invitation at the top. And then, of course, post vendors ads. They're all available to you for you to use to enhance your ability to be seen and or place bids. Okay, so any questions that we have so far on how to utilize any of that and understanding the functionalities of how to search bids?
We do have one question here, Michael. Kat Echeverria is asking, are SB and SBE the same? Prequels that are asking for SBE and not SB.
Well, SBE is also a small business. And I'll turn up my mic. I saw that. You can't hear me too well. So SB is small business. That's what we use. The SBE is also small business, but it's a federal term. They have small business enterprise. Please note that small business for the state of California and small business for the federal government are two different certifications. So in a sense, no. If you see, they're used interchangeable. So a lot of people, hey, I'm a SBE, and they're referring to the fact that they are certified by the state of California, and I'll look them up, and that'd be factual. However, the term that we use is small business SB, and federal uses SBE. There you go. Any other questions there?
I don't see any other questions for now. Just a reminder for folks, you can enter your questions into the Q&A window. If you could use the Q&A and not the chat, it's a lot easier to track. We will get to them as soon as we have a moment with these Q&As that are going to be happening throughout the presentation. So keep your good questions coming. Thanks.
Yeah, by all means. The idea is that when you're done with this, when I'm done with this PowerPoint presentation, that we have answered a lot of your questions so that you can enhance your ability to win contracts, or at least understand how we do it and how you can participate. All right. So, updating and improving your profile. I mentioned this earlier, right where we started. Your profile is the only thing that we see when we start searching for small businesses and or disabled veteran business enterprises to find potential suppliers in our database. So your profile is the only thing left. It used to be where we would meet you initially via one-on-one matchmaking that we do virtually. But prior to that, we were able to travel. We had, the big conferences. We had an opportunity to talk to you, exchange information. After that's all said and done, the only thing left is what you put on in your profile. That's how we search. Okay. All right. So every state department has a goal. We have a 25% in small business inclusion goal. Spoke about this yesterday. We have a 3% DVE participation. Okay. So all the state buyers, okay, post their solicitations on Cal eProcure. Well, not all. There's 3 of them that aren't, and I'll explain that to you briefly. So it's important that you use keywords to describe your business and the UNSPSC codes. Okay. So what does that mean for you? It means that if you do this right, we're able to find you moving forward. Now, UNSPSC codes, United Nations Standards Products and Service Codes, are based and are created by the United Nations. The state of California adopted that coding system because it's all inclusive and it's one code pretty much for the entire world. So we're all on the same page. California is the 5th largest economy, and we have people from all over the world trying to sell products and services to us. However, with the Small Business and Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Program, we give you a foothold in that area so that we constantly use you as California-based businesses. Okay, so now, as I said, what the state uses as buyers, we search in our database either by the keywords, which I do, that's how I use it, and many of the buyers do, because we know that if we're searching for paper, copy paper, we just type in the words copy paper. If you have those words in your keywords, then you will come up automatically in the search. When the search function searches, it doesn't come in alphabetical order. It does come up in a random order. The buyer then can send out or call you for opportunities to bid. Here we have this much. We need this much. What is going to cost us as a state? Now, UNSPSC codes, as I mentioned earlier, UNSPSC codes, if I happen to buy paper all the time, then I will remember what the UNSPSC code is for paper. I might just type the code number and then search. It makes it easier if I happen to remember that, but either way, it's incumbent upon you to understand that those 2 key functions are important to you. And also what I mentioned earlier is always opting in. If you opt in, we'll send you information. If you don't, we won't. Okay, it's just the way things go. Now, the UNSPSC codes are unique in the sense that it has a parent code. So parent code may be just paper. When you hit it on paper, then it will have all codes underneath that. So we'll describe different kind of paper, copy paper, printing paper. You can either choose the parent code and have that embedded into your UNSPSC codes, and they will send everything the system has to you that resides on paper. If in fact you start looking at it, you get way too much stuff you don't want, you can go back, choose the parent code, and then just choose what you want as the subcodes. I just want copy paper. I don't care about the rest. So incumbent upon you to decide how you want to do it, but understand there's a parent code and then subcoding underneath that. The other thing that I want to point out to you is when it comes to the UNSPSC codes, the state has now revamped it. So if you haven't looked at your profile recently, you may want to do that because we may have erased all you UNSPSC codes that you have had uh, in the past. What the state has done is we took all the thousands of codes that presented on the United Nations system and just took the ones that the state primarily uses and now have embedded that in our search function. So we got rid of a whole bunch of other ones that the state doesn't use. In doing so, you either may have irrelevant UNSPSC codes or you may not have any, depending on where you started and when you developed your online profile. Because some of the old profiles, we just scrubbed the whole system and you may not have any in there. So take a look, just make sure. All right, so what makes a good keyword? Now, the overview of what's, the basic offers, we're looking at keywords. And what we're trying to say is people think a little bit differently. You got trucking, transportation, hauling. They all pretty much are somewhat, depending on where your background is, uh, means somewhat the same thing. Do you want all words in there? Our recommendation is you put all the ones that are synonyms to what you may be doing, as is trucking, transportation, hauling. The other thing is, we bring up the thing about seafood. You got the seafood, which would be the parent code, right? And then the subcode would be crab, lobster, shrimp. And if you only want to do crab or lobster or shrimp, then you just click that box, and you won't have all the ones come down in your system. So it's incumbent upon you, especially when you want SBSC codes. But wording is important because some of us, we just type in seafood. Other buyers might type in shrimp or crab or lobster. Now, I don't know anybody that statewide that actually buys this particular product, crab, shrimp, or lobster, but I know that the state does buy a lot of food. We have our contracts are actually done on a quarterly basis as opposed to a yearly basis because price and seasonality changes. So food purchases are done more often. Just a little bit of trivia there. All right, so UNSPSC codes. All right, so they're classification products and services, all codes. You got hospital. Here's hospital construction services shown. Look at that. Look at that digits. 2, 4, 6, 8 numbers. That's what I was saying earlier. If I was looking, I probably wouldn't remember the 8-digit number for hospital construction services. I would just type in hospital construction services, and then if you have that in your processes or you're in online, you're good to go. If you don't, you'll never pop up. Now, the UNSPSC codes, as I said earlier, they come in certain levels. State buyers use 3 and 4, and then you can add, different levels. So you got the parent code, paper material products, and then it goes further down, right? As you can see, paper, writing paper, computer paper. In most cases, we use level 3, 4. However, if you have the parent code on top, you'll get all that information, or you can go back and then sift through it and choose more specifically what you're doing. So you just got to understand how the system works, and then work accordingly. Okay. All right. As it says here, state buyers use level 3 and 4. Add 3 and 4 codes when you want to file a relevant 4-level code. So it's basically we're just trying to tell you that there is a coding system. You got tier 1 and then subcoding underneath, and you just got to choose what is relevant, or just use the master code and get all the information and sift through what you may get. You might do all kinds of paper. So the decision you make when you're filling on your online profile. Okay. All right. So updating your Cali Procure notifications. We'd indicated to you that you want to be notified. One of the places were in the top right-hand corner when you saw the solicitation itself. However, one of the things you can do is when you have already logged in to the California online marketplace, you have the bidders account. Okay, you got edit your bidders account, top right-hand corner, manage notifications, view profile, change password, sign out. This is all available for you on your page. Okay. So manage notifications. We want you to make sure that you have to opt in for things. If you don't opt in, we are we're trying to follow the guidelines and the rules so that you don't get spam mail. That's the idea. So if you opt in, you'll get information. If you don't, we won't send it to you. Okay. Trying to eliminate spam. Wish I knew how to do that on my cell phone. All right, so here's the scoop. Notifications. Here's the notifications right here. As you can see, would you like to receive small business subcontracting list? I would say yes. And then you would get, if you are a subcontractor, get information notification on top of that. All right, contractor say yes, just say yes. You can always change this, but you don't want to miss out on opportunities. Okay. Here you can add notification contact. It's your information. How do you want to make notified? Who do you want? You can add as several emails. So if you want to put your email, your secretary or business partner or whoever the managing your solicitation intakes, put their email addresses. Everybody will get an email accordingly. So you decide. So it used to be there's only one email that all the stuff can go to, but we have enhanced our product so that multiple people can get the email, that everybody won't miss something that might be pertinent. If you go on vacation, you don't have to worry about it. Somebody else has got it covered. All right. Now at the very bottom, it says California State Contract Register Notification. Manage. My recommendation, you say yes. You can always change this, right? But yes, we'll give you information. You decide you don't want it anymore or don't need it. You're getting stuff you don't want, don't need. Then you can turn it off. It's all on you. But by not getting or not uh, saying yes to things, then you won't get information that you need. Okay. So what you're saying is, yes, I want the CSCR, the State Contract Register, to notify me of opportunities should they match my UNSPSC codes. Just say, I'm recommending you say yes. Okay. All right. Yes. That one says no. You want to change it to yes. Pretty straightforward. Right here, you can input mail to receive notification and the service areas you want to work in. So you can add service areas. When you first fill out your profile, you should have added the service areas you want to work in. So if you have a delivery service, of course, you only want to go X amount of miles away from your place of business. So you may want to only choose the surrounding counties from there. If you don't have that issue, you might want to choose all 58 counties. Either way, you can add the service area one, all, or you don't put none. That's a little tough one on there. You won't get any information. So add service areas, add in UNSPSC codes. As it says in the down corner there, you just type in the keywords on the bottom half. You type in words, hauling, transportation, and a UNSPSC code should pop up in. You just choose. Now, here's one of the key features that you may want to do. Every now and then I get locked, and my mind will lock up. I'm thinking of something, I want to do something, I know it in my head. I just can't think of another word to put it. What you can do is, in the very beginning, I showed you how to find yourself. Well, you can just type in, all right, who else does what I do? So you type in the commodity, paper, and everybody who has the word paper in their profile will come up. You can look at to see what UNSPSC codes they have and or keywords they're using. You can, if you're doing the same work, assimilate that information, put it in yours. That way you'll get the same opportunities that we'll email out to you as well as them. And then you can place your bid. You'll be in the game as opposed to not knowing there was a game going on. Okay. All right. You save and you're updated. That's not hard. It only takes you a few minutes because you have any questions regarding this. So how to update your profile, how to move forward. At the very end, we'll show you how to sign up for one-on-one tutoring, and or you can call our 916 637-549-4940 for immediate help regarding anything regarding your certification and or your profile. Okay, we'll put that in the chat too. That's our help desk. All right, so this is a fake profile, but as you come in and you sign in using your username and password, as we showed you in the previous session, this is the page that we see. This is your page that you created. So when a buyer looks onto the system, we type in whatever we're looking for, and then now we can open up the corresponding profile to what we find. This is what we see. We see your business name, your email, how many employees. We can view your keywords, your classification, and on the bottom half, we'll see what you're certified as, or if you're certified. Now you can amend this application. Add or subtract. If you started out as a small business, okay. And what I recommended earlier is that if you happen to be a DVBE, to get small business certification first, and then work on your DVB certification. Now you can amend it and just by amend application. All right, so it's pretty simple. Okay. View classification profile is where you'll go. You can amend, and then you can add service area, subtract service area, add keywords. It's all available for you to do. We try to make it really simple and really easy for you to change things as your business evolves. Okay. Other, it's all there. So you can just go from screen to screen to screen and then make changes accordingly to the evolution of your business. All right. Any questions this part? No? I like it.
We got questions. We always got questions. And just a note to folks to please enter your questions into the Q&A tab. It's a lot easier to track that way than entering the chat. They get buried and then it's difficult to find. Irene is asking, I closed my business in San Francisco and just reopened in Sonoma County, where I recently moved. Do I need to recertify for SB?
Well, if you moved your business and you're already certified, you don't necessarily have to get recertified, but you definitely should notify or change your business address and contact information if you should have one, because your business only needs to get recertified if you changed like from a not a LLC, what they call it, a small business sole proprietor. I'm looking for the right word, to an LLC or any other way. If you're just moving locations, all you got to do is change address, unless you've added partners or your business setup as a whole has changed. Yeah, then we're gonna have to look at that to hopefully so that you don't exceed the parameters that are eligibility requirements for a small business doing public works and or a DVBE. Yeah, it's not a problem if you change locations.
All right, thanks. Corey is asking, where can I get a list of all of the UNSPSC codes?
All the ones that we use in our system? That's a good question. You want all of them. Do we have a list of all ones that you can download? You know what? I've never tried that. Corey, that's a very that's a good one. I'm gonna have to research that. I'm sure we can provide you with a list of all the UNSPSC codes. I just never tried to do that, so I'm not quite sure how to answer that question at this point in time. I'd say there probably is a way. I just don't know the way yet. Sorry, we'll find out for you though.
You can certainly look them up on the website at unspsc.org.
Oh yeah, you can look them up, all of them. I mean, that you can do.
They're all there, yeah.
But the state, that's what the state is using, because since we augment the system just to have UNSPSC for the state, I know we have a list. I just don't know where it is.
All right, so go ahead. You can reach out to Michael if you're looking for a follow up there.
You're killing me.
Throw you under the bus just a little bit. You can reach out to me too, especially if you're in your service area. Jennifer's wondering, she can't find where to update the keywords. Is that, maybe you want to go over that real quick?
Well, okay. You know
We're
what,
gonna get.
Jennifer? Here's my recommendation is at the end of this, if we can send an email, we can do a one-on-one, and we can go through your processes, and I'll show you how. Okay. That way, we're not fumbling. And 'cause I just went through that process, so I'll sit down with you directly.
Sure. All right.
Michael,
Yes.
this is Nina.
Yes.
Um, DGS, I just looked it up, but DGS does have a list of the UNS SPC codes on there. It's on
Oh,
your guys' website. It is on your website.
okay, cool. Like I said, I have never looked to see whether we have a master list. Could you put that link into the chat so that Corey
Yes.
can have it?
Okay. I'll do that.
Appreciate it.
Okay. You're
There you
welcome.
go, Corey. I knew it was available. I just didn't know where. All right.
All right. Thanks, Nina. And Corey's also asking, can I update my UNSPSCs after getting my certifications?
No, absolutely. You can add or subtract your UNSPSC codes as well as your keywords. So, like I said earlier, as your business evolves or you happen to miss something and now you thought of something else, yeah, you can just go in, you sign in a username and password. It'll take you to your site. It'll say your online marketplace, and then you use the drop down menu as I showed you in the top right hand corner, and then you can. It says amend application.
All right. We got one more question, and then let's move on. FIDA is asking, if I enter the root code, but you're searching by subcode, will you find me?
Yeah, if you enter the subcode, the master code is in there. We should, yeah, we'll find you. But my recommendation is that you had both codes in there. You know, it's just it's to me it's you bought one place more safe than sorry. But if you're using the master code, yeah, you'll come up in the search.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Michael.
All right.
Let's progress on, and we'll have more Q&A. So keep your questions coming.
All right. Let me see if I can get this screen to move over for past. All right, let's see. We got. Oh, there we go. Where to do research? Let's talk about research. It's talking about skippers, state contract procurement registration system. Find out what the state buys and the dollar amount for the contract. So you will go to the California online marketplace, like I said earlier, www.caliprocure.ca.gov. This is where you start. You'll get public information here. Click on get public information. It'll take you to searching for public purchasing data. So past purchases, all there is available to you. Okay. All right. So view past purchases. Once you view past purchases, it will take you to this screen. This screen, as you can see, there's what is that? 48,429 purchases that come up in the initial, and there's a lot more. We've been collecting data since 2009, so there's millions of them in here. However, it would come up with the current information that we have for this particular quarter. So, as you can see, there's almost 49,000 purchases that we had in the last couple of months. All right, so here, if you look at the screen, just by sample, you can see you can search on departments, the price, acquisition method. All of this here is used information for your marketing strategy. And so it's all here for you. If you didn't know it, it's a huge benefit that you understand how this is used. So you can see the very first part. Let's go with line item number 1. You got California Conservation Corps. They bought toilet paper from Granger's, about $539 worth of it. It was under a fair and reasonable. So if you don't understand what fair and reasonable is, that they bought it. They can buy anything under the fair and reasonable purchasing authority, and these are the ones that aren't advertised. Actually, that is class number 3, kind of putting the cart before the horse. But fair and reasonable, under $10,000, a buyer can buy items or services by just getting one quote, as long as they can say it's fair and reasonable. Okay, just so you know. So it's pretty simple when it comes to skippers. What I didn't show you, let me go back one slide. What's here, as you scroll over to the right, you can actually see not only the department who bought it, but the buyer themselves, their information there, their email address. My recommendation is that if you're going to reach out, to initially reach out to the advocate of the department, California Conservation Corps, and discuss dialogue with them, because the advocate understands how that department buys, and there may be more buyers in that department that buys toilet paper in this example. So you want to reach out to the buyer, the advocate, and start dialogue there. They in turn will put you in contact with the buyer, but their job as an advocate is to make the associated introductions moving forward. So don't leave them out. Many times the buyers may not respond to you. That's not their function. And of course, they might. So you'll have both of their contact information. All right, so just so you know. All right, pretty simple when it comes to skippers, the state contract procurement registration system. One of the biggest failure rates that suppliers have, as I said in the very beginning, is not checking out what the price of the state bought initially. And this actually came out in a study that we provided. What 12 reasons do suppliers, what mistakes do suppliers make prior to bidding that eliminates them from placing the appropriate bid and losing? One of the ones that came up is you're not checking historical pricing. All right. Any questions regarding skippers, where to find it and how to use it? It's a huge tool for all of you. None?
Well, we've got a question about keywords again, where to update. Maybe we went through that a little quick. Do you want to just go back to that slide real quick? You do have a slide where to show them where to do that, right?
Yeah, it's like,
I believe slide 25, maybe.
Is it 25? All right, let's go back to 25. Let's be 28, 27, 24, 25. All right. Okay, amend application. So you go log into your new username and password. You have to log in with that. Without that, you can't do anything. After logging in under username and password, you would see that under your name, which would be the top, in this case it says test 6. You click on that down arrow. The down arrow would allow you to have those particular functionalities. In this case, you're going to view certification profile, and you're going to amend your application as it says right there. From there, you can actually add service areas, delete service areas. Maybe it's one before, and then you can add keywords and keywords on the right. You can add more keywords and UNSPSC codes accordingly. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Log in, top right hand corner, test, drop down menu, amend application, and then you get to this one section that says other. Don't forget, there's several places that you can go, right? You can amend all of that stuff, but under other, it allows you to do the keywords and areas, and you can add UNSPSC codes as well on previous. It's all under other.
Perfect. Thanks, Michael. And we've put some UNSPSC resources in the chat, so please take a look at those, and let's continue on.
I think we're right here. Yeah. Advocates. We basically mentioned advocates. We actually showed you how to find the advocates. The advocates, then again, our Cali Procure, Nina Martinez and myself, we sit on the board of supervisors, if you will, for a lack of better way of putting it. We put together the advocates training for all state advocates within California. Now, they're state employees. They assist small businesses and DVBs with, to pursue contracts within their own departments. That's why I said earlier, you want to include, when reaching out to a buyer, the advocate. The advocate actually is the portal. They know how the department runs, and they know all the buyers that are pertaining into that particular area, because some agencies only have one person doing all the buying if they're really small, and then of course a larger agency have multiple buyers in multiple areas. You take in consideration Caltrans. Caltrans has I forget 12 service areas, and each of them have one or two advocates and hundreds of buyers. So you definitely want to, and corrections is the same way. They have presence all over the state. Nevertheless, these advocates are every agency that has $100,000 or more buying authority. They must provide us with a contact information for the advocate embedded in your department. Okay. As you can see here, Caltrans has multiple advocates, and so does some of the other agencies. Some of the large agency has one advocate who disseminates information, like Parks and Rec. There's an individual that sits there. She in turn disseminates information down, but she's the main advocate for the whole department. And off the top of my head, I cannot remember her name. All right, so the advocates, they're going to identify if the department buys, what to provide. Excuse me.
It's Michelle.
Ah, that's right. Sakamoto.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Anyway, advocates will assist you with identifying what the department buys, and then hopefully what you provide. They're there to help you with future opportunities. For instance, they will keep information or disseminate information so that maybe they're not buying or have already bought what you're selling, but in the future you might be able to, bid on future procurements. All of this, the advocate can help you with information, upcoming procurements. Many agencies have an idea what they're going to be buying before it reaches the marketplace, and you get some heads up in that area. DGS does that. We have a website that actually shows you what we're buying before we actually put it on the web, and who the contact information. You have issues with payment, that's the first place you should go. I know many people reach out to Nina and myself. You have to reach out to your advocate first about prompt payment or not getting paid. And then if you still have issues, then you can reach forward to the board members and we can help you accordingly. All right, so one of the things that we recommend that you do, and I mentioned this yesterday, you definitely want to have an elevator speech and a capability statement. Capability statements are crucial to market your business to the advocates and to eventually the buyers within the unit. And it's really simple. You got to include your certification number, or all certifications that you have on that. It's pretty much a one-page resume of your business. Understanding what one looks like, you just go to Google, and there's a whole bunch of samples there. Choose one that you think is appropriate. The one thing that we recommend, as I said just a moment ago, is include your certification number or numbers if you have more certifications. If you have a welding certificate, whatever else that benefits your business, to show that you are capable of doing the job that we are seeking for help. We're going out to bid. Okay. The other thing that I recommended, it's not really got here, is that you definitely want to make sure that you have a elevator speech. That's pretty much a commercial for yourself. I had said mine. My job is to help you understand how to do business with the state of California and provide you with contacts who will leave the contracts. Simpler to that, you want to start with your name, your business, or at least the department you work for, and then a brief description of what your business does. And then my recommendation is that you have that last bit of information that's your hook. I've been in business 30 years. I have X amount of experience, something to make sure that people can remind. And if you have a slogan that you may want to end with that, we are licensed to kill. That's the one that I keep remembering because they were exterminators. And that's what they do. They kill unwanted bugs, I guess. All right, so welcome to the online marketplace. This is everything we have. How to find an advocate. So here, you go back to the online marketplace. How to find an advocate. You go sitting in the center button. Right here at the very bottom of Outreach Resources, you can find the advocate. Advocates directory, you can download the directory. Now, here's the key about this directory. When you hit on the download, it may not open for you automatically like it did here. It might open in a subframe on your button. You just got to click that and it will open for you. Download it, and then you still got to open it. Okay. What we have here is that the nuances, we list all the advocates. There's over 200 on this list. What the department they work for, the unit they have to be, if they happen to be in. We also have it construction. So if you're doing construction or construction related, you can sort the whole list and then worry about the top 20. The rest of them don't really do any construction formatting. The ones that are highlighted in yellow have a buy first policy, a written buy first policy for the department, and they will buy first from certified small businesses and our DVBEs before they reach out to anybody else. Most of the departments do that anyway, but the ones that are highlighted actually put it in writing. Okay, so what's not shown here as you scroll to your right, It'll give you the name of the advocate and then their contact information. One of the key features that I want to tell you is that do not copy the whole list, all the email address, and then send email accordingly. Government systems take that as spam, and it usually goes in the trash or spam folder. You definitely want to do your research. Only reach out to a portion of the ones that, and then send email directly to them. That's the best way to do business. All right. I talked about this capability statement. Here's one as a sample. This is just a sample. It doesn't have to be like this. As you can see in the top bottom right hand corner, we talk about putting all your certifications. And in this case, they have CMAS. They're part of a CMAS. That's a good thing to put on there. But put all the certifications do apply. UNSPSP codes, if you happen, you can throw that in there. I would recommend that you take the contact information that you have at the bottom, put it right below your name and your cable. You don't need the word capability statement if you have it there. Put it right below so it's all in one spot. Sometimes we won't look at the bottom and find your contact information. So that's a key hint. Put the rest. All right. So the last couple of slides. Now that you understand certain key functions, one of the things that I recommend that you always do, if you're not finding success with the state, you have products and services, we're not buying it at the time, is to reach out to our reciprocity partners. The reciprocity partners are agencies, the cities, the counties, and the municipalities who accept your certification as a small business and or DVBE. This list will show you what they are. Okay, so here's a list. As you can see here, the Bay Area has several municipalities. We have Northern California, Sacramento region, Los Angeles. There's a lot of places throughout the state that does not have a small business or disabled veteran business enterprise, but you definitely want to make sure that you reach out to these. They accept your certification and have a small business program that you can parlay into to sell your products and services. I'd use the federal term set aside. So you definitely want to reach out. And if you happen to be a service disabled veteran, a DVB, what's not listed there under the utilities, they also have a disadvantaged business enterprise goal, which is women owned, minority owned, which is not, we don't do that, but they do. Something little side trivia there. So if you happen to be minority owned, women owned, and fall into that category, you may want to reach out to utility companies. All right. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So the last few items here is resources. The biggest resource that we have in our host today is the Ptac, Procurement Technical Assistance Center. Most of the time, they can help you with all the other things that are listed under the SBDC, consulting, business planning, market access to capital. They are the same. But the Ptac has that key feature that I recommend all of you check into, especially if you're in the James's region. They have the bid match system, and currently he's offering it free to you. And they search pretty much for you opportunities based on your profile. So hey, don't let that pass you by. I mean, I cannot stress enough of there's somebody out there that's providing you free service to help you find opportunities for your business. Don't miss that. Some of the other ones is Southern California, San Diego. They charge you for the opportunities because they have exceeded their licenses. So if you happen to be around James's service area, but check it out. And Score has a mentorship program. I'm sure that James can probably help you in that area, but Score is unique in the sense that if you are a bricklayer, they can pair you with an established bricklayer so that they can help you navigate the nuances on how to run a business in that area so that you fall in traps that they may have fell in before. So it helps you miss all those potholes because they happen to know where they're at. All right, so capability statement, commercial use of function. This is really important that you understand that all businesses bidding on state contract must meet a commercial useful function. These questions are asked you prior to award. Okay? You answer them or review them before you bid because you must comply. If you do not comply, there are penalties for those if you say you do and you do not. So it's pretty much, and I'm going to read them straightforward so there's no misunderstandings whatsoever. A small business or DVB firm performs a commercial use function when in doing all the following: executing a distinct element of the work of the contract, performing, managing, or supervising the work, performing the work that is normal for the firm's business services and function, and negotiating price, determine quality and quantity, ordering, installing, and making payments, and not subcontracting a portion of the work greater than expected in the industry practice. If you do not understand all of this, by all means, reach out to the contract administrator so you understand what those particular items mean. So pretty much simple, extinct element of the work. So if you're going to bid on the contract, you must do part of the work in either supervising, manager, or doing the work itself. You can't, if you're a accounting firm and you don't have any business doing construction, and you shouldn't be bidding on something that you are not certified to do. People do. But that's why it says you must be normal for the firm's business. So when you get certified as a small business state, you had indicated what you can and cannot do. And if you work outside of that parameter, it becomes a red flag. All right. So, and if you do not perform the function of cuff an extra participant in a transaction, in other words, you get the contract and win, but throw it out to somebody else, charge a fee. You can't do that. Not being used to perform the work is stipulated in the bid and no longer uses to provide the services. So all of this stuff is going to be asked you prior to award. Answer them as the best you can, truthfully, and you'll be okay. Because there is penalties for lying. All right, so service contracts. If you need successes, if you have found success, please let us know. We'd like to feature you on our DJS webpage. Free advertising for yourself. Here, so let's go over review real quick because I'm running out of time. California State Contract Register, we talked about that and how to use it. Updating your profile, it's really important that you understand where and how. The state contract procurement registration system, I showed you how to find pricing and who actually buys your products and services. The advocates, why to use them, who to use, and where to find them. The reciprocity partners, same thing, how you can use them and where to find those. We explained some of the resources we have for you and what CUF is. CUF is applied to every state contract, just so you know. All right, so here's my contact information. By all means, reach out to me via email if you have any questions or concern. That's pretty much it. The rest is up to you there, partner. Take it away, James.
Hey, Michael. Just a note, we did schedule the webinar so you until 11:30. So if you,
oh well,
I don't know if you had that in your. Michael was filling in on short notice for Jermaine Carter Gibson, so maybe that bit of information didn't get translated over.
Well,
but
maybe if you guys want to see something in particular, since we do have a little bit of time, by all means, ask any questions, and then maybe I can help you answer those. We would probably take you to the live site if you want to see.
As long as you don't have somewhere to be in another meeting or something. So.
Nah, I set aside time for this.
So we'll just cut into your break then, right?
All right, what we got?
All right, looks like we got 5 questions in the Q&A.
Okay.
Mr. Daryl is saying, does a business have to be located in California prior to bidding on a procurement?
No, as a matter of fact, no. You can be anywhere. Anybody can participate on contracts with the state of California. You can be in another country if you like, if that happens to be. However, if you are residing in that country or that state, you can't get certified as a small business or DVBE. But by all means, if you can find and your price is right, we don't preclude you from trying to sell to the state of California, no matter where you're located.
I have a good question. Do you know if the UC and the CSU system procurements are included in Cal eProcure?
Are they included? You're talking about on our bidding place?
Right. If I assume the bid opportunities from the college systems.
The CSU is unique in that aspect. They do have their own way they do business in regards to their solicitations. However, many of the solicitations are on the state's website. But remember, oh, I don't remember. I didn't even tell you. Actually, this is a prelim to session 3, should there ever be one. We do have a presentation is called government contracting 101, where we talk about how the state buys, the different types of contracts the state uses. And then there's a little section in there. The state of California has the ability, so the CSUS and all state departments, there's three types of contracts that are not advertised on the state's website. You have to, and this is a part of actually part 3. But since we don't even have a part 3, I'm going to give those to you right now. One is, I mentioned this earlier, we have contracts under $10,000. They're fair and reasonable. We don't advertise those. So if a buyer wants to buy anything, pretty much anything under 10 grand. So like in the first instance, we had toilet paper. They bought $500 worth of toilet paper. If they bought $9,000 worth of toilet paper, all they would have to do is go into the database and find a supplier, at least one, and get a quote from them. They can award up a less than $10,000 contract by getting one bid and only one bid. However, the buyer must prove that that bid is fair and reasonable by several ways. One is that they bought this product before and the price is similar to what they bought it from, no matter where they bought it from, or it's advertised on a newspaper or some article somewhere. If they can prove that price, or somebody else in the state bought it and the price, they can prove it. Oh, look, DGS bought toilet paper for relatively the same price. Then they can compare and then say that's fair and reasonable. So under 10 grand, it's not advertised anywhere. State buyers can just buy whatever they want. Now, here's one of the other things that you get as a certified small business and DVBE. We have a small business DVBE option. This option allows buyers to buy up to $250,000 or $333,000 for a public works contract by just getting 2 quotes from 2 small businesses and or 2 DVBEs within our certification. So the state can buy whatever it is up to a penny less than $250,000 or $333,000 by getting 2 quotes from businesses in our system. It's huge, and that's one of the ways we include small businesses in our procurements. Anyway, those aren't advertised anywhere. And the final one that's not advertised is emergency purchases. When, for instance, you hear about the news right now, we have Cal Fire, fighting fires. If they need something to mitigate the loss of life, property, there's a definition, I can't remember the rest, but they can go out and purchase that particular equipment, whether it be shovels, bulldozer, or whatever else they need to make sure that, in an emergency. In fact, the governor used that particular tool to buy PPE so that the state and hospitals can run and not rely on the federal government at the time. So those are 3 things that aren't advertised on the state's website. That's why it's really incumbent upon you to continue to market yourselves through calling, emailing, and of course capability statements, as we said earlier, and making the appropriate contact. One of the best ways to do that is to use the historical database to find what departments, what you're selling, and who actually the buyers are, and little reverse engineering. So that's how you would do that. Little hint that's actually covered in phase 3. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Yes, they are, but some of them aren't advertised, so they won't be.
All right, thanks. Before we go into the Q&A, I just wanted to mention a couple upcoming events that we have in case folks are ducking out early.
Okay,
We're always putting on webinars. We're putting on 3 this week alone. So the one we're putting on tomorrow is if you're interested in doing business with federal agencies, we're going to have a panel of agency representatives from different entities around the country. That's going to be pretty informative. That is tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Also free to join. And these webinars have been building up to the biggest event of the year. That is the virtual NorCal Gov to Bids Matchmaker. Free to join as well, like all of our webinars, but this one is a matchmaker program. So if you sign up and you set up your supplier profile, you can be matched with agencies and large primes from all different walks of life, and you can actually sit down and have 15-minute meetings with them. So this is a great opportunity to practice that elevator pitch, get your capability statement ready, and actually get some face time and get your foot in the door. So a lot of you asking about how do you make an impression on these state agencies? Well, this is a good way to do it. Matchmaker programs like this one. It's next Tuesday, so I would encourage you to sign up as soon as possible so you can set up your profile and see if you can get any meetings, because those meeting slots are filling up fast. And then we will continue on in August. We've got a webinar on the DSBS, the Dynamic Small Business Search, which is kind of like Cal eProcure for the federal government. So do check out our website, norcalptac.org/calendar. We've got lots of upcoming events. All right, so we've got some more questions here. You guys are having great questions. Keep them coming. Mr. Darrell is saying, I would assume that thousands of companies on your site, I believe you said something like 20,000 small businesses out of the millions in California,
Yeah, more or less.
that you can query. So how does a company stand out among the thousands that are using many of the same keywords? So could you comment on how to stand out from the competition?
Well, I think James has just told you one of the ways is you sign up for the virtual matchmaking or similar products like that. It used to be easier where we would have in-person meetings where you could meet myself, Nina, and some of the advocates who represent the buyers for the departments. That's just pretty much how you would stand out is making um, marketing directly to the buyers. Any other way, it's just a hit and miss. It's like a lotto. State will just put in a keyword, and names of vendors will come up in no specific order, a random order, and then we just call accordingly. So, if the buyer knows that you're capable of providing the services and/or products that they need, then you're on top of their their Rolodex, and they'll send you an opportunity or give you a call. They have to get at least 2 quotes when they're using the small business DVB option. Many times we don't get responses back, so the buyers usually reach out to 5, 6, maybe several more, and ensuring that they get some responses. That's one of the biggest failures that businesses have, and that's actually on the list of 12, is that you don't respond back to some of our inquiries. We don't understand why. We send you an opportunity, but nobody seemed to say hello back. Anyway, so that's one, but that's the only way you can do that to stand out. There's no other way per se. You still have to do the old-fashioned marketing. Okay. Right.
Your local Ptac can assist you with marketing your business for agencies as well. So
There you go. Hey, yeah.
that's one of the things we specialize in. So thanks, Daryl. Kat Echeverria is saying the score information would be very helpful for our company. Do you recall what that was regarding, Michael? Is that SCORE the organization?
The mentorship program. They have the
mentorship program, yeah.
Yeah, they have the specific individuals who work in the same line of work, and they pair them together so that they can learn from the previous pitfalls from the the larger company. So they have a mentorship program. And SCORE, I think you just go www.score.org, I believe is what
Yep.
I'll have to look it up. But just reach out to them, set up a little appointment for the local one that you have. And if they can't find one locally, pair you up with somebody else in the country, and you guys can Skype, FaceTime, whatever it is, ensure that you get the help that you need. All right. So yeah, use them. You definitely want to use them.
And I've been dropping some useful links in the chat. I just put the SCORE website there. Looks like Nina also dropped it in there, and I put a couple links for doing business with the CSU and the UC system as well.
Yeah, the UC system is very unique, so you definitely have to market directly to them. So, what else we got there?
Pamela Baker is asking, what's the best way to get the word out to individual agencies once you have been awarded a contract?
That's a very smart move, actually. How do you get it? You're just gonna let them know. Send them an email. Hey, look, I've won the X award. The recent one that reached out to me was they won the gloves. We had a glove contract, statewide contract. you just send them an email with your capability statement saying that, you're on a CMAS, or you have a statewide contract, and let them know, the buyers know that you can be reached here for this particular product and services. Again, I would recommend that you check out our Skipper system to see what agencies are buying gloves, and then market to those particular ones that are actually using them. That's just the fastest and safest way, fastest way to identify what agency uses your product, and then you can market direct. But that's very good that you're thinking of that, because you definitely want to let buyers know that you're there and you can be called at any time at this particular contact information.
May I intervene for a second?
Oh, absolutely.
So one of the other things that is great, Michael's been talking about, is use your email. Your email is a free system. You already have it. Use that capability statement that Michael was saying. Market your business that way. Make it easy breezy. Send it to the state agency, statewide, the advocate that you want to do business with, and just, make sure your certification number is on there. Use a brief introduction in there and send it off. And that is a great marketing tool. Great. And it's free because you already have it.
You got to continue to market. There's no way around it. If you really want to get, as the previous gentleman had said, and Pamela, marketing is the key to success. You want a contract, now you still want to market the fact that you want it, and to the buyers that are actually going to be buying it. You don't want to wait for them to buy it, although they will, because if you wait on a state contract, in many cases they'll reach out to you. But it's a good idea to reach back first to let them know that you're available.
Yeah, and just never give up. If you don't get a contract, or you've got a contract, let us know. Let us know what you're doing out there, and add that to your capability statement. It's amazing. Amazing. That is a great tool.
Thanks, Nina. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here, Nina, dropping in.
Thank
you.
All right. So if there's no other questions, okay.
We do have a couple more questions.
Sure.
Pamela is asking, where can I find the Skipper agreement?
Skipper agreement, or we're talking about the state contract procurement registration system database. I'm hoping that's what you're mentioning, Pamela.
I am not sure. I'm not sure the nature of the question. She says yes.
Okay. Well, you go back to Cal eProcure, www.cal-eProcure. Welcome to the California Government Online Marketplace. There's 3 sections to choose from. Get public information is the last one on your right. You click that and it'll take you right there to the search function of where you'll find historical information. Pretty simple.
All right.
If you still need some help, you can reach out to any one of the advocates or myself, and I can walk you through it through a Zoom call. Okay.
All right. And we're getting more questions about eligibility for Ptac, since we've released the secret that we're actually free help. And for Norcal Ptac, you do have to have your business located and registered in our service area, 15 counties in Northern California. So FIDA, you're in Riverside. There is a Ptac that covers Riverside County. I will go ahead and drop that, not that specific Ptac, because I'm not sure what Ptac, I don't have the information right on hand. But there's a website I just put in the chat where you can find your local Ptac in general. So that should be useful. And I just want to note that we're going to have a survey that you're directed to at the end of this webinar. If you want to just let us know how you felt about the webinar, and you just put that in the survey, you can do it anonymously. It just takes a minute or two. That would be very, very great. And I think that we're out of questions here. So I just want to thank everyone for joining. Thanks to Nina for dropping in on short notice, and thanks for Michael for taking over this whole presentation on short notice. So really,
my honor, my
huge
pleasure
to
to
you
work
guys.
with you, James. Nina, it's good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, again, if your what is that? Evaluations are positive. Yeah, my name is Michael. If it's not, I'm James. No, I just messing with you, James. But in any case, we really hope that you find success. That is our focus. That's what James, myself, and Nina are here for, is ensure that you find at least valuable information to make the correct decision for your business. You may not like what we hear, but we're honestly trying to help you. And then at that point, you can decide you want to move forward or stay where you're at. But either way, we're here to help as best as we can. Thank you very much, James, for hosting. Thank you, Nina, for dropping in. And
Thank you.
good luck to everyone.
Thanks, everyone, and see you in the next webinars. Bye-bye.
Bye. Aloha, everyone.